It is 9:20 on the evening of November 15, and I have been scrolling through news posted on Facebook about an incoming storm. This is the official Facebook account of our local weatherman, which I will link in the description box. In his post from 9 minutes prior about Storm Pepito, with international name Mani, he mentioned that the storm will go over the province of Eastern Samar, which is in the region of Eastern Visayas, and then over the province of Catanduanes, which is in the Bicol region, and also over the eastern coast of the province of Camarines Sur, which is also in the Bicol region. The town where we live is right along that same coast. In these areas, there will be strong winds, heavy rains, and storm surges because of our proximity to the coast. This specific post I will also link down below. Here is the location of the eye of the storm at 5 p.m. the previous day. The city of Naga, which is right here, was one of the places that was most affected by Storm Christine last October 22 to 23. I have videos about that storm, which I will also link down below. This country above the Philippines is Taiwan. But outside it is very, very still. There is no rain and not even any wind. Let me show you. In fact, for most of November 15, it was also very still. No wind, no rain. Here is a video clip taken at around 11. And another clip taken at 5:30. And it's still too early for me to sleep, so I reclined in bed with my Kindle. This is Pedro Paramo, the novel written by Juan Rulfo, which now has a movie adaptation on Netflix. And as I was reading, the warm light on my Kindle automatically became deeper or more yellow at 10 p.m., which is how I programmed it to be, but I wasn't able to film it. I did not think of filming it. So just to show you, I have changed the time settings for that because I really wanted to show you how it looks on camera because I think it's pretty cool. I have unboxed this Kindle on my channel, and I also have a 1-year review about it, which I will link down below. And that video is really more of a top things that I like about my Kindle. And one of the top things, of course, is the adjustable warm light setting, which we can program to turn on and off automatically at specific times. I've set it to 22:03 hours just for now, just to show you. And then right on the dot, the screen really starts to become yellow. It does not happen abruptly. It's actually a slow, a very gradual process, which I hope you can see anyway. The whole process actually takes an entire minute, which is nice because I hardly notice it, but my eyes just feel more relaxed in my experience. Now, the actual yellowness of the screen doesn't really translate well into the camera, but in real life, this is actually more yellow than what I can see on camera. Later that night, I went outside to see what's going on, and still, just like before, there was no wind, but I did notice that it rained a little bit. However, I did not hear it from inside my bedroom, so it must have been just a light rain. You can see the grass is wet. At past midnight, which was already November 16, I checked the news again. This is the official Facebook page of the Department of Science and Technology, PAG-ASA, which means Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration. That is a mouthful, but we just call it Pag-asa. Here is the projected track of Storm Pepito. At the moment, the yellow areas are under signal number 2, which pertains only to wind, not yet to rain. Rain uses a different set of intensity warnings. I will also link this post down below. The forecast says this is going to be a super typhoon. The red line that you can see here delineates the Philippine area of responsibility. Of course, I still could not sleep, so I kept reading, and I have actually already finished reading Pedro Paramo and have moved on to Sinner by Carol James Marshall. This is the first of 3 books called the Santa Muerte trilogy. I'm still very near the beginning, but I'm already liking it a lot. And right after I showed my watch, my camera finally showed an accurate depiction of how yellow my Kindle screen is. That is very close to the actual yellow in person, but at this point, the camera adjusted itself again. Shortly before 6 a.m., still on November 16, there is still neither wind nor rain. Even the birds are still sounding like they always do. I could still see some bits of sky behind the clouds, but I'm not sure if that is still sky. That could be another cloud layer that light is shining through. I'm not sure. I cannot tell. As of this time, the DOST Pag-asa has already issued the latest flood warnings, which it has actually been giving for the past few weeks because after Storm Christine last October 22, we also had Storm Leon, and then Storm Marce, and then Storm Nika, and actually Storm Ophel is still here. It is just about to exit or had just exited the Philippine area of responsibility, even when Pepito is already entering the area. Here is the latest on Storm Ophel, as you can see, but here is the latest news about Storm Pepito, which is incoming. This is the trajectory of the storm. This island here is Catanduanes. The eye of the storm is here, and it will indeed go over Catanduanes, but it will also severely affect the places along this coastline here. Wind signals have already been raised from the previous report. Catanduanes and the eastern coast of Camarines Sur and parts of Samar are now under wind signal number 3. See, Storm Ophel is already exiting the Philippine area of responsibility, and Storm Pepito has actually entered the area on the night of November 14. Now, here is a post I came across while still browsing Facebook. This is a post of someone who grew up in a fishing village along the coast of Bicol. The post is in the Filipino language with a little bit of English. And what the post is saying is that during the times when there was no modern technology yet to track storms, the fisher folk in the area had a little formula to tell whether a storm could be strong or not, or windy or rainy, or both, depending on the phase of the moon, the behavior of the tides, and what time of the tide cycle the changes were observed. I will link this post down below. And by the way, the NDRRMC, or the National Disaster Risk Reduction Council, has also been sending text messages via SMS about the incoming storm. See, this already mentions the wind signal number 3 from very early this morning. The messages also say that the rains will begin in about 18 hours. Before 10 o'clock in the morning, the winds have started and the sky looked more gloomy than before. And before 11 o'clock, it started raining. The rain was not continuous, by the way. It still stopped. And while I am editing this video, there is no rain, which is why you can still hear the roosters. But I think the calm before the storm is over. The storm really is coming, and it is a super typhoon. I hope everyone was able to prepare to make themselves safe, and I hope the local government units have done their job in securing the people under their jurisdiction.